Spring training 2013 continues from the desert. It is gorgeous this evening in Arizona. 1 week from today, the Rockies will begin the season in Milwaukee. But first things first, they're at Salt River Fields at Talking Stick tonight to take on the Cleveland Indians. And we are thrilled, as always, you're along with Jeff Houston. I'm Drew Goodman. Well, tonight you're going to see the opening day lineup for the Colorado Rockies and a lot of the starters for the Cleveland Indians. And I imagine we'll see them for quite some time.
Yeah, that's the good part about the last week of spring training. All the tinkering with the lineups is done. You get your veterans out there, you get your regular guys where they want to go out and play 9 innings and get ready for opening day.
No question. And on the hill today, the guy who will start the home opener, Jeff Francis. And you talk about a terrific spring. That's been Jeff throughout. 29 out of 30 innings have been scoreless ones.
Well, and only 2 walks during all those innings, too. That's the impressive number for Jeff Francis because we know that he has to be able to hit his spots, hit the corners. He doesn't have the overpowering fastball, but he goes out there and he shows everybody just how to pitch, how to miss bats, how to change speeds, and do everything that you want for your veteran leader of that staff to be able to do and go out and show everybody that I deserve that home opening start.
And he'll handle the pressure very, very well. So it's great to have a veteran like Jeff to go to in that situation. He'll be throwing tonight to Aline Rosario. Now, Rosario's worked all spring on his catching. His hitting, that's been just fine. In fact, in his last 3 starts, he's got to trot around the bases.
Yeah, that's 4 home runs total for Aline. And I think that's neat to see this kid come in last year with everything that was put on his plate. And then he comes in this year already knowing that he's going to be the starting catcher going into the season. But he hasn't let it go to his head. He's gone out there and he's worked hard. He's done everything that's been asked for him defensively, and we know about his bat.
Yeah, his bat is special. He's going to hit a lot of home runs. He had 28 of those a year ago. When we come back, we'll meet the newest Rocky. Jenny Kavnar will introduce you all to the veteran right-hander John Garland. That'll be next when we return to Talking Stick. Rockies and Indians a few minutes away.
Setting in the desert as we get ready for baseball at Salt River Fields at Talking Stick. I'm Jenny Kavnar, back on the field with you. And the news of the day for the Colorado Rockies remained John Garland signing with the ball club. He's expected to be in the starting rotation, and that means for Drew Pomeranz, who was vying for the 5th spot in the rotation, that he was optioned to minor league camp. As for Garland, he began his journey this spring with the Seattle Mariners, and he knew in coming back from his 2011 shoulder surgery, he knew exactly what to do.
I think coming into spring, the biggest thing I wanted to show was that I was healthy. And, I had the understanding that I'm not necessarily fighting for one job on one team. If every team out there sees I'm healthy, there's a pretty good understanding of what I'm capable of doing in the big leagues. After, major surgery, I'm not going to come back and be a completely different pitcher. I am what I am, and, I think if I showed that I was healthy, I could go out and get guys out and help a team win.
What Garland is, and really what he's proven over 12 major league seasons, is that he can be a ground ball pitcher. That is something the Colorado Rockies have emphasized to all their pitchers this spring. And over his career, he has a 1.3 to 1 ground ball to fly ball ratio. In fact, Garland's going to make his debut with the Colorado Rockies tomorrow night against one of his former teams in the NL West, the Dodgers. We'll have more here from Salt River Fields, and first pitch coming up next with Drew and Jeff. Stay tuned.
Cactus League Baseball on Root Sports is brought to you by your 7 neighborhood Toyota stores. Toyota, let's go places. And by Taco Bell. Sometimes you got to live Moss. Beautiful night in the desert. And the Rockies and Indians getting together. The Rockies will play another evening game tomorrow. They'll be over at Glendale at Camelback Ranch to take on the Dodgers. In fact, 3 or 4 ball games in the evening. And I think from a player's standpoint, it kind of gets their clock ready for the regular season, doesn't it?
Right, and that's why you like to have these night games at the end of spring training, not at the beginning. You get in that routine during the first part of spring training, day after day after day. You like your routine. But now I like to change my routine to the night one.
And you can roll out of bed
at 10 o'clock.
Right. So you get used to that again. Terry Francona, Tito, after a year in broadcasting, long tenure and a successful one, as you know, with the Boston Red Sox, is now in Cleveland. He's got a new center fielder and leadoff man in your picture, Michael Bourne, most recently of the Atlanta Braves. He's brought a lot of his starters with him, and here's the Southwest batting order for Terry Francona. Leading off will be Bourne. He'll be followed by another new member of the tribe. Drew Stubbs moves north in the state of Ohio from Cincinnati. He'll play right field. They have a lot of guys that can run out there. Jason Kipnis at second base. He'll bat third. Nick Swisher comes from the Yankees. He's had a terrific spring. Michael Brantley will be in left field. Mark Reynolds from the Orioles. Lonnie Chisenhall will play third base and bat seventh. Lou Morrison behind the plate, and Luis Hernandez is at shortstop batting ninth. And there's a good look at Jeff Francis.
I talked to Jeff around the batting cage today. I said, how long are you going to go tonight? He goes, 9 innings. I said, no, really, how long do you? He goes, 9 innings. Or 90 pitches, whichever comes first. So that's what he's looking at, second to last start before opening day.
Well, you know, if he got 9 innings in on 90 pitches,
that would be great.
It would be great, but it would screw things up for guys like Belisle and Wilton Lopez and Chris Volstad, who are scheduled to get an inning of work tonight.
And they wouldn't play extra innings just to get those guys their work in.
No,
not in spring training.
It'd come in a bullpen about 9:30 at night. And the 1-1 is in there, and it's 1-2. Ben May is calling balls and strikes this evening. Michael Bourne has had a quiet spring in terms of numbers, hitting just 200. That's inside. This was a good pickup by Cleveland. They've made a lot of moves. In fact, they were one of the busiest organizations in the offseason.
Yeah, and Michael Bourne was a big part of that in the long-term contract, and then throw in Swisher. Those two guys, what they've done, and of course Terry Francona, the new manager. I mean, that goes without saying what the pedigree that he has and what he's been able to accomplish in his managerial career.
Real player's manager. Fastball is high. And that rides the count out full, 3-2. And it's kind of like a Jim Tracy type. If you can't get along with him, you probably got to look at yourself in the mirror.
Something's wrong.
This is off the foot of Michael Bourne. Michael Bourne was one of those guys kind of sitting out there, and you knew he was going to get a lucrative deal. A very good center fielder, terrific leadoff man, originally with Houston.
He had to wait it out, though.
He did have to wait it out. Signed a 4-year, $48 million deal, and he hits this in the air to Cargo pretty deep. Cargo going back, and he's going to field it off the wall on one hop. So a leadoff double for Michael Bourne. Ball was really carrying in batting practice, and 2 nights ago it was really carrying here.
And this ball even got Carlos Gonzalez fooled in left field because Michael Bourne stayed centered and got through the baseball. The hips rotated, head down, and he got Cargo turned around, short hop in the wall. Well, that just shows you the strength of Michael Bourne.
So here's Drew Stubbs, really talented native of Texas. One of the fastest men in baseball. So at the top of the Tribe lineup, you got a guy who flies in Bourne, a guy, at least if they hit him in the 2-hole, who flies in Drew Stubbs.
Well, and the thing that will help Drew Stubbs, too, is he'll get more fastballs hitting in the 2-hole if Michael Bourne is on base. And we've seen Drew when he was with the Reds, what the damage he can do to the fastball. They really remade that whole Cleveland Indians team. I mean, with the trades and the free agent acquisitions and getting rid of Travis Hafner. I mean, a guy that had been there forever.
Before the first 6 are new to the Cleveland Indians. Bourne and Stubbs. Kipnis was there, obviously. Then Swisher. Brantley's a holdover. Mark Reynolds is new.
Right. And then Lonnie Chisenhall was the young guy that they've always thought would be their top prospect.
Ooh, that just missed. Where was that?
But it shows you the pinpoint control that Jeff has when he can hit a spot where Willeen had set up.
He may have fooled Ben May with that. That ball started away, and he'll throw a cutter, and that thing cut over the outside corner pretty clearly. Changes speeds. Jeff, one of the most cerebral guys you'll talk to in the game of baseball, and it kind of fits his personality on the hill. He is a, he's trying to create art, if you will. He's not going to throw it by you.
No, and you never see him rattle. You never see the shrug of the shoulders that you'll catch from some pitchers. When things aren't going well, you can just read their body language. With Jeff, if you came to the ballpark and you didn't even look at the scoreboard, you couldn't tell what kind of day he was having, good, bad, or indifferent.
Yep. So keep an eye on Bourne. Now, when he goes inside, glove side to a right-handed batter, he'll throw the four-seamer or cut the ball. Otherwise, when he works away, it's that two-seamer trying to get a rollover ground ball. That's a second straight full count for Jeff. See if Bourne tries to take off. He does not. And it's bouncing ball to short. Too low. Good hands. One out.
And nice movement to his left.
Tonight's starting defense brought to you by the Ford Super Duty. It's built Ford tough. And the Rockies will have, I'm sure, their opening day lineup. Cargo, Dexter, Michael Kadire, Nelson at third, Tulowitzki and Rutledge up the middle. Todd Helton's at first. Willeen Rosario is behind the plate. So Jason Kipnis comes up with Bourne at third base. When the Rockies did that big deal, the Ubaldo Jimenez deal a couple of years ago, one of the guys they were trying to get back, in addition to Pomerantz and White, was this fella, Jason Kipnis. He is an offensive-minded second baseman.
Well, it's not a guy either that jumps out in the American League first. Of course, you have Cano over there, but Kipnis is not too far behind him offensive-wise. 76 RBIs last year.
Nice change of speed there. It's 1-1. Kipnis, quiet spring offensively, a 143 average. He does have a home run. He's knocked in 3.
That's old Mickey Tettleton, the way he was holding the bat to start with.
Yeah, Mickey Tettleton he did a lot of things that were unusual. Mickey Tettleton had his feet right next to each other.
And the bat parallel to the ground.
Yeah.
Feet together.
From both sides of the plate.
Right, and then ate Fruit Loops every morning.
Because he was a Fruit Loop. Here's the 2-1. And this will get the job done to second base. Rutledge has to wait on it. That's one of those squirrely hops, isn't it, Jeff? I mean, it looks kind of like a real routine play, and Jeff made it look that way, or Josh made it look that way, but
well, it's not hit soft enough where you can come get it, and then not hard enough where you can sit back and know you're going to get a true hop. It's that in-between speed. What do I do? But notice how he worked from the ground up. Soft hands.
Very good technically. So it's 1-0 Cleveland, and here is the switch hitter Nick Swisher out of the limelight of New York. Covered the Yankees a little bit in the playoffs when Nick was there, and if you needed a soundbite, he was your go-to guy.
Well, and it's a coming home party for him. Played at Ohio State. Where Urban Meyer, he tried to recruit him when he was going up there and, wanting to sign with the Cleveland Indians. They had him meet him to try to persuade him to play for the Indians.
Right. Of course, his dad, Steve, was a longtime big league catcher. Did you overlap with him anymore?
No. I remember him with the Cubs.
Good pitch again by Jeff, and Nelly's got a little help at first. That guy, number 17, he's done that before. I've watched him.
That's why he wears gold. Smooth as silk.
So the Indians get a run. Bourne's leadoff double, hurt it, but 3 ground balls.
It's springtime in the Rockies.
first inning, trailing 1-0. And Dexter Fowler will lead things off. Here's the rest of the starting batting order presented by Southwest Airlines. Dex will be followed by Josh Rutledge. Cargo will bat third. Troy Tulowitzki will bat cleanup. Then Michael Kadire, Todd Helton, Lillian Rosario, Chris Nelson, and Jeff Francis. In the case of Cargo and Tulowitzki, second straight ball game they've been involved. And there's the former starter, former reliever, now starter again, Brett Myers, in his first year in Cleveland.
Yeah, signed as a free agent in January. Brett Myers, 97 and 93 in his career. Last year spent time with Houston, also with the White Sox in the American League. Originally a first-round draft pick, 12th overall back in 1999.
Yeah, with the Philadelphia Phillies. Saved 19 ball games. I think you mentioned that last year, and I think this is what he prefers doing. This is looped to shallow left field, and Brantley will get over and make the catch. This is a pretty fleet outfield now that you add Stubbs, because Stubbs is a center fielder by trade, and he's in right field.
Yeah, there's not
in left and Bourne's in center.
And as a pitching staff, if you're with the Cleveland Indians, you're saying, wow, I've got all this speed out in the outfield. If these guys don't catch it, it's either going to be over their head or out of the ballpark.
And probably their best player is not in the lineup tonight. He's got some mid-back spasms he's been dealing with. That's the all-star caliber shortstop as Drupal Cabrera.
Got him.
Nick Rutledge, so he'll go to first. Oh, we're talking about Cleveland defensively. This is their starting lineup out there. Brantley, Bourne, and Stubbs. Chisenhall will start at third base. Hernandez is filling the spot of the aforementioned Cabrera for a couple of days. Kipnis is their starter at second. Mark Reynolds will probably DH more than play first, but he's very capable at first base. He comes over from playing third base most of his career, but he did a nice job there with Baltimore last year. Swisher moves from the outfield to first. Lou Marston's the backup. Carlos Santana is their starter behind the plate. So they're basically, position player-wise, have 6 of their 8 starters in the lineup tonight.
Well, Reynolds is going to share DH duties with Jason Giambi.
That was announced today.
Yes,
congratulations to our friend Jason Giambi. He made the Cleveland Indians. Now he'll start the year on the disabled list because Cargo fouls this one off. But Giambi's going to be part of the mix with Cleveland.
Well, they've got an unusual situation because they've got a guy that needs to serve a 6-game suspension to start the year from something that happened last August. So that's
actually 2 August ago.
Yeah, it was 2011.
But
You're
he was injured all last year.
Yeah,
Carrasco.
So now he's got to serve a 6-game suspension. So that's why they put Jason on the DL.
Myers strikes out Gonzalez. 2 gone, and Tulowitzki will come up. Another sellout crowd here at Salt River Fields at Talking Stick. Standing room only. The lawn is packed. It's just such a contrast. You and I were chatting about this the other day when we were driving home from the ballpark. You think back to the days in Tucson, and they were enjoyable days. This is not to say anything disparaging about Tucson. I love the city. I know you do as well. You know, the facility, though, was not nearly what, I mean, there's no comparison,
No.
First of all, facility-wise. And that's going to be an infield hit. But not only that, you know, being down in Tucson, it was difficult for people who were vacationing in Phoenix and were Rockies fans to, you know, go down the highway. Now every game is sold out. And this is the Taj Mahal of facilities.
Yeah, it's the benchmark. And so everybody looks at this place and just, you walk in and you're in awe. And as a player, knowing that I don't have to get on a bus and ride for 2.5 or 3 hours. I mean, Todd never made any trips.
Well, it's a great example of that. Todd's been on some trips in the Phoenix area this year. yesterday over in Maryvale, a game we had on television against Milwaukee, as Kadire takes a strike. You know, there's Tulowitzki and Cargo in the middle of the lineup, and they're veteran enough now that that would not have happened if the Rockies resided in Tucson. You would not have seen them on a 2.5-hour bus ride back and forth. Not at this stage of their career. Now,
well, and it's also better for the fans. When you're coming down here, say you come down from Colorado, it's spring break, you bring the family, you want to see your guys play. And now even if you couldn't get a ticket here or it didn't work out in your schedule, you could go over to a Maryvale and see some of your guys that you want to see, the Tulos and the Cargos.
This ball's in the air to center field. Bourne will retreat a couple of steps and make the catch. Rockies get 2 men aboard. Do not score. We'll go to the second. Cleveland 1, the Rockies nothing.
Root right here on Root. That's what you're watching, the Indians and the Rockies. Indians up 1-0 as we head to the top of the second. We're with the newest Rocky now, John Garland, down in the dugout. John, you put up some great spring numbers starting over with the Mariners. Where are you at? Where do you feel health-wise coming over to the Rockies?
Health-wise, feel good. You know, I've been able to go out and make all my my bullpen sessions, make all my starts, and throwing the ball with conviction every time it's in my hand. So it's a pretty positive sign, and I'm ready to go.
Unfortunately, injury is a part of this game sometimes, and having shoulder surgery back in 2011, not playing last season, where were you at mentally last year? Did you ever have a moment where you thought baseball might be over, and when did you know that it wasn't?
It actually crossed my mind a few times, but being in the position I was in, you know, I kind of look at it as I've already pitched a career. A lot of guys don't get that opportunity, so missing that year and being out and just letting it build strength and get healthy, I think was probably the best thing for me.
You've already built a career, and you've already built a nice collection of hats in the NL West. We talked about that earlier today, playing for the Dodgers and the Padres and the Diamondbacks, and now for the Rockies. What is it with the familiarity, though, that makes you so comfortable coming back to this division?
You know what? It's a lot of it hasn't been my choice to say, but you know what? It's a great division. You know, being a West guy, excuse me. You know, better weather, better ballparks, better cities. So it's just a lot of fun. But having the chance to be back in this division, knowing the teams, knowing the players, knowing the guys, it'll be interesting to see how it goes.
How would you describe your philosophy as a starter and what you need to do every day to get wins, and how you can maybe contribute to this starting rotation?
Get as many outs as possibly can. Try and help the team win. I mean, you can't really get too deep into it. You start doing that, you mess yourself up, you mess other guys up. So just try and keep it very simple, keep the ball down, and get as many outs as you can.
I asked you this earlier today, but I'm going to ask you again because I liked your answer, and I want everyone out there to hear it. I said, when you walked in that clubhouse, who were you glad to see as your teammate and not as a guy that you had to pitch against? And what was your answer?
My answer was Carlos Gonzalez and Tulowitzki. Those guys back-to-back when healthy, or they're tough two guys to get out back-to-back. And especially with some of the table setters they have in front of them. They get on base, it makes it even harder, and then they're on base for the guys behind them. So those two together, it's a pretty tough pair to get out.
As a journeyman, so to speak, when you come into a clubhouse, unlike being a rookie, you see some familiar faces in there, either guys that you've faced or guys you've played with. Yorvie Torrealba, one of those that you played on the Padres with. Is that comfortable as a pitcher coming in knowing you've already pitched to that catcher?
It definitely is. It helps out a little bit. There's some familiarity there. They know you, you know them, especially as a catcher. Because you start jumping teams, catcher has to get to know you, has to see the ball coming out of your hand, know your mechanics. So a lot goes on behind the scenes, and just having a guy here that has caught me, someone that I like and I like throwing to, it definitely helped out.
I've seen you in a Padres uniform, so I'm just going to leave with this. You look a lot better in purple, too, now.
I'll take that.
You like the purple. There you go. John, thanks so much for joining us. Drew Jeff, will send it back to you.
Making friends wherever you go, Jenny. Nicely done. John Garland, welcome aboard. John will pitch tomorrow night. Pitch at Camelback Ranch against the Los Angeles Dodgers.
And I mentioned it yesterday. It's nice that he hasn't had a big stretch of time off from the time he asked for his release over in Seattle.
Reynolds went. So Mark Reynolds gone. First strikeout of the ball game for Francis. One out, one on after the Brantley single. Lonnie Chisenhall will be coming up. And the Rockies made some more roster moves today. And a notable one, Drew Pomerantz, not surprisingly, was sent down to AAA with the addition of John Garland. So he'll start in AAA. Matt McBride has been back and forth, also sent out. Miguel Batista was released outright by the Rockies. Terrific guy. Just, the stuff. Very latter part of his career, and the stuff not good enough to break with the club, so he was given his release.
14 hits in 7 innings, a 9 ERA, and he's had a wonderful career, and who knows if this will be it, but there's really hasn't been a better ambassador for the game than Miguel Batista.
No, terrific, and he's a well-traveled man, and we've mentioned it before when he's thrown against the Rockies through the years, a renaissance man. He's a poet, an artist, a published author. Bet you he and Francis would get along well, huh?
I'd like to just be a fly on the wall in that conversation with those two.
You have to bring a dictionary and a thesaurus with you.
In other words, they'd be talking way over our head.
Exactly. Jeff mentioned it earlier about Lonnie Chisenhall. For several years, he's been not only the top prospect in the Indians organization, but one of the better prospects in the game. He's showing signs of delivering on that promise. Back and forth between the big leagues and the minor leagues. Throw to second, and it goes. Looks like it hit Brantley, so he'll have a stolen base.
Jeff was trying to keep him close at first base, but Michael Brantley took off when the leg was lifted from Francis. The throw tailed into the runner, and it did catch him on his thigh.
Want to know on Chisenhall. Stay in the big leagues all year this year instead of going back and forth. And that is a solid single to left. Brantley had to see it through on the line, and he'll go to third base, first and third with one out, and the catcher Lou Marson will come up. Backup catcher last year for the Indians. And drive, gloved by Rutledge, safe at first.
Jeff could not quite get the ball out of his glove to make the throw to first. Or Josh, I mean, he reaches for it, right there, the hesitation.
Here's one of the interesting things that happens during spring training, and the Rockies are very accommodating. I don't know if Kirk Gibson would be the same way. We remember what happened earlier in the year. But Luis Hernandez, the shortstop, he's batting ninth. Cleveland is utilizing the DH. The Rockies, because their pitchers need to hit most of the time, not utilizing the DH. And you know, Walt could care less.
Right, but there was a dust-up earlier this spring where
Dusty Baker, when Cincinnati was, when Cincinnati was
playing Arizona.
And it was here, so the rules are set by the home club. And Dusty,
and it was early in camp.
Right, Dusty thought that he would use a DH that day, get a couple extra at bats for some guys he was looking at. Kirk Gibson said no. So we're pitchers are hitting today. I don't quite understand, quite honestly, why he would care.
Wouldn't matter to him, would it?
If anything, it helps you evaluate the pitchers you're using a little bit. Again, it was very early in camps, because now they're facing a more legitimate hitter.
Unless they worked on bunt plays that day, and he wanted to see if their pitcher laid down a bunt, how they would react to the bunt plays.
Yeah, perhaps. Evidently, he had his reasons. Three and one on Hernandez. 2 outs. Brantley at third. Lonnie Chisenhall's at first. Nice pitch. That's the big leagues, Jeff. That's you don't get the 3-1 automatic heater even if you're sitting in the 9-hole, do you?
And you're wearing number 82. That's just that was a big league changeup, and Luis Hernandez did not expect it.
Double up on it. Chris Nelson has it, and Jeff Francis works out of a mini situation. 2 men left on, 1-0, middle of 2. Indians 1, Rockies nothing as we go to the bottom of the second inning with Jeff Hewson and Jenny Kapnar, Andrew Goodman. Todd Helton's going to lead off for the Rockies. Then Willeen Rosario and Chris Nelson against Brett Myers, veteran right-hander. That is a fountain. Where that fountain's located, I'm not sure. And I'm getting no help from the truck. Oh, that's right. It's Scottsdale Road and Indian Bend. I've seen that.
Right by the Jamba Juice and Starbucks.
Well, my office, you mean?
Yes.
1-1 on Todd. Talking to Dante Bichette, Rockies hitting coach, about several players before the game, and he's been really impressed with how his former teammate is swinging the bat. Helton, ball's coming off the bat. He hit a long home run a couple of nights ago here, and that's a rocket up the middle, base hit. That kind of looks like the guy we've been watching for 16 years.
And it's not a force swing where the back is limiting his rotation. That's the great part about this swing, because if the back's hurting, you would not be able to stay through the baseball. You'd pull off of it and you'd get the rollover 4-3 ground ball.
Strike on Wallin. You mentioned during the Open, in his last 3 starts, he's hit 3 prodigious home runs. He's tied for the club lead with Nolan Arenado with 4 spring home runs.
I like the one the other day, 0-2 off of Matt Cain. That one was hit a long way.
I mean, they all count, even if they're against number 78. But when you hit them off Cain, maybe it feels a little better.
Well, when you're in the ditch, 0-2, it does.
Yeah. Sure, he doesn't give up many. He doesn't give him many home runs to begin with, much less 0-2 home runs. This is a base hit to right. Todd will stop at second base. 2 men on, nobody out. Chris Nelson. This is why he has a chance, Huey, to not just be a power hitter. I mean, last year he came on in the second half. He's going to hit for some average, too.
And this is what he does. That ball beat him inside, but he pulled his hands close enough to his stomach to get the barrel to that ball. Now, everything doesn't have to be a turn and try to uppercut it out of the park.
I like the approach there by Nelly. He was trying to go to right.
You're never going to go wrong when you think the opposite field is a hit. And then react to a ball that's in, and you just pull your hands in, you get the barrel there, and you hit it a long ways. But if you think about pulling every single pitch, pitches that are middle part of the plate to away, they're just going to eat you up all day long. And the scouting reports here, I mean, word travels as fast as anything now. As soon as they find a hole the very next day, they're exposing that.
This ball's hit a ton to left field and deep and gone. 3-run jack, Chris Nelson. His first of the spring. And the Rockies have a 3-1 lead here in the second.
And I think it goes back to the approach that he had when he walked to the plate and he fouled that ball off to the right side. This time it was a breaking pitch. The hips open up, clear. He gets onto that back heel, able to rotate even further and drop some barrel and hit it out.
Heard somebody in the crowd yell, "Come on, Boomer." Is Jeff's nickname when he's at home. His family's called him time he was little. Boom, 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 Jeffrion.
Jeffrion.
Yeah.
Inventor of the slap shot.
I tell you what, ever since your son Kyle started playing hockey, and he's a terrific hockey player, just finished his season. I got to talk to Kyle tonight a little bit,
yes,
by the way. Finished his season at UConn this year, his first year there. You are Mr. Hockey.
Yeah,
you are Mr. Hockey.
I do enjoy the game of hockey.
Yep.
You're exactly right. And I knew nothing about it growing up here in the state of Arizona.
Probably not.
No, that was before the Phoenix Coyotes were here.
Yep. And a walk to Jeff Francis. So the home run rattling Brett Myers. And the Rockies flip the lineup. Here comes 24 again. So the first 4 have reached against Myers here in the second inning.
We do have to give a shout out to George Gwozdecki and the DU Pioneers for making the regionals. They'll be playing New Hampshire this weekend on Friday.
And I'll inform you of something that you may or may not be aware of, because I was talking to your son after you left for a while on the phone, because he was talking to your other son, Cody. And he's actually going to drive up to New Hampshire and watch that game. Did you know that?
Well, yeah, because he has 3 or 4 friends that he's played with through the Thunderbirds back in Colorado. And so he's going to go up there and watch Daniel DeRemus and Josiah Didier and Grant Arnold, a few other guys that he's played with, and wish them luck.
Good kid.
Thank you.
Wendy raised him well.
Yes, she did.
Breaking ball misses to Dex. Dex to a fly ball to left field his first time up. Single, home run, walk. Helton and Rosario on board as Chris Nelson went deep. 3-1 Colorado. Tell you another addition, Huey, to the Cleveland Indians. It looks like Scott Kazmir has maybe resurrected his career and made the Indians.
And that would be a big resurrection. You know, he was a #1 prospect for a number of years with Tampa Bay.
And had some good years.
Yes. And had arm injury and problems. But's come back and probably make that ball club.
Yeah, a lot of changes, as we talked about, with the Indians, beginning at the top step of their dugout with Terry Francona. Three and 2 on Dexter. And that's laced to center. It's got to get down, and it will. In front of Michael Bourne. Space running by Jeff Francis. That's not an easy read. It was hit so hard. He has to make sure that Bourne can't make the catch, and he's got to hustle to get to second.
Well, when it's knuckling, you go halfway as you're taught as a base runner, but then you freeze, you see it down, and then Michael Bourne was lucky. This ball goes into his glove. It could have skipped by him, and then it would have been a track meet to see if Dexter would have caught up with Francis.
That's right. He can't just hand him a baton at that point.
No, he can't. Yeah, you can't tag him and say, I'll pass you. You can drop off.
Rutledge was hit by a pitch his first time up. Good block by Marson. Rockies at Maryvale yesterday lost 7-5 to Milwaukee. They're 14-12 on the spring, trying to produce their 8th consecutive winning March in the Cactus League. Tell you something else Dante told me. He's really excited about the season. He thinks, he says, I know everybody's picking us last. He said, well, you got to play the games. He said, but I really think we have a pretty good club.
Well, of course, it's going to come down to the pitching, but the offense is that's what's going to be fun, and we're seeing it tonight.
This ball's hammered to deep center field by Rutledge. Bourne is going to run out of room. It hits the top of the wall, and Jeff Francis has scored. Fowler gets a stop sign. Everybody had to wait to see if Bourne was going to catch up to it. So a 400-plus foot double by Rutledge.
And this was part of the fun I was talking about, and Dante Bichette was referencing. Another breaking pitch from Brett Myers. Josh, he gets everything into that swing and came within 2 or 3 feet of hitting it out for a 3-run home run.
He's a guy that when you look at him, he's put together, he's solid, but he's still a young guy, he's still developing. And he'll surprise you, man. He will hit the ball out of the ballpark, and he can hit the ball out of the ballpark almost in any direction.
And I think that's what makes him unique for a number 2 hole hitter, is that ability to hit the other way and hit behind a runner or take a pitch if he needs to, but also to hit the ball out.
Here's a guy who loves to play. I asked Cargo, I said, how many at-bats truly do you need to get ready for the season? He goes, I like all of them. He goes, I'd like that 600. I go, you're going to get that during the season. Breaking ball, 2-0. 6 straight have reached against Myers here in the second inning. Helton a single, Rosario a single, Nelson a 3-run home run, walk to Francis, single by Fowler, double by Rutledge, 4-1. Cargo hit, I mean, we were laughing. He hit some prodigious home runs in batting practice today. He almost hit one over the cactus in dead center field.
Well,
I mean, completely out of the stadium.
Yeah, and he almost took out our camera out there, too. I mean, that's how far and how high he hit the baseball.
Now, there's like 3 rows or 4 rows of cactus, and he hit them above all the cactus. And the fence is 410. So, you know, now you go up, what, about 15 feet, and then another few feet, and another few feet.
That's a lot of few feet.
Yeah. And this is shallow left. This could drop, and it will, in front of Brantley. And it's 5-1 as Dexter comes around. Rutledge to third. Cargo with his 10th RBI of the spring. And that's now 7 straight to reach against Myers in a second inning that's getting really long. In fact, Terry Francona's gotten up out of his chair, walked down maybe to the bullpen phone.
Inside cut fastball to Carlos and flares it in no man's land to left field in front of Brantley.
And he'll get his share. So will Tulowitzki, because the outfield, Huey's got to play so deep.
Well, they take such big swings.
And Troy beat the throw. Therefore, well, either way, it was going to be, he's going to get an RBI. He's going to get a run home. He gets the RBI, though, because it only produced 1 out. The Rockies have put a 6th spot up on the board here.
Chisenhall took forever to get rid of the baseball.
Michael Kadire, 9th man to hit here in the second inning. He just missed that. Just missed it. Left center field. Brantley makes the catch. 2 outs. Have auto glass damage? Call Safelite Auto Glass, America's vehicle glass experts. 303-287-5000 or go to safelite.com. Helton got the rally started with a smash up the middle. And he's going to have himself another hit. Brett Myers would like to walk off the mound about now, get in his car, and head out of Dodge.
I just wonder how much longer Terry can let him go. How much work he wants him to get in.
He didn't want him to get all his work in the second inning.
Well, he did want all 75 pitches to come within the first 2 innings.
Rosario, single to right. He fouls it over the roof of the stadium. This is David Huff. He's the first get out of the inning guy tonight. You have those guys in spring training. Guys that are not necessarily scheduled to pitch that you bring in case somebody gets in a lot of trouble. And I think we can classify this as a lot of trouble.
Well, when you're talking about the 11th man to come to bat this inning.
See the former Houston manager, Brad Mills, there.
Oh, reunited. Those two worked together for a lot of years in Boston.
This is popped up and could be playable. Oh, that's a great effort by Reynolds.
More than a great effort. Think about it, spring training.
Yeah, I mean, great effort again by Mark Reynolds, but this is not a rookie trying to make a club. Brett Myers checking on him, making sure he's okay. Went to
nice Rockies fan.
Did you get a ball at the game tonight? I understand you were in the first row. No, but I caught Mark Reynolds.
All 235 pounds of him.
Did he sign for you? We didn't have enough time. We just little chit chat and then he had to go. Just missed. Myers saying, come on.
Please.
Listen, it's been long enough. Can't you give me that one?
Myers walking off the mound.
Hey. And it's a 3-2 count. So at second base, Tulowitzki, and at first base, Helton. They'll be on the move. 6-run second inning for Colorado. So the 11th man to hit here in the second inning. We may see some of this, especially at Coors Field this year. And that's a base hit through the left side. And Tulo will come home with the 7th run. And that may just force the hand of Terry Francona. Let's see if he gives him another hitter. Chris Nelson's kind of eyeballed the dugout, wondering if he's going to get.
Do I have to walk all the way to the plate before you come out of the dugout? Well, whether it's a fastball, a breaking pitch, it doesn't matter in this inning for the Rockies hitters and Brett Myers, because whatever he's left over the middle part of the plate, they've hit it and hit it hard. All Brett Myers is thinking, thank goodness it's spring training, because my ERA would be blown up now.
Get it back to 0 in a few days.
Yep. Hit the reset button.
Nelly, a 3-run home run about 15 minutes ago. Onto the berm in left field. And that will finally get Cleveland to the dugout. The Rockies get 7 runs in the inning. 12 come to bat. Helton had a couple of hits. Rosario had a couple of hits. Nelly had a 3-run bomb. You get the picture. 8 hits in the second inning. They have a 7-1 lead. Rockies regular season baseball returns to Root Sports 1 week from tonight. Tune in April 1st at 11 in the morning for a special 1-hour pregame before the team takes on the Brewers in Milwaukee. Don't miss the Rockies as they open the 2013 season right here on Root Sports. First of 150 ball games you'll catch on Root Sports. Michael Bourne had a double off the base of the left field wall and would come around to score in the first on an RBI ground out by Jason Kipnis. Michael last year, he misses that curveball, hit .274 with Atlanta, 9 home runs, drove in 57, stole 42 bases. Came up with the Phillies, and he's gone. So Jeff Francis gets him second time around. 2 punch outs now for Jeff.
Come enjoy opening weekend festivities featuring players from the 1993 team on April 6th and 7th.
Drew Stubbs takes a strike. He bounced to short. Well, tonight is ideal for baseball. We've had great weather this week in Arizona. That ball's hit well right center field, and you better hustle and get to it because Drew Stubbs can pick him up and put him down. He's going to stop this time at second. Earlier this spring, we saw it snow down here. We saw a torrential rainstorm that kind of wrecked the fields for about 48 hours. But back home, you have been dealing with a lot of snow of late. This is from tonight. Photo taken by Mark Razum. Said to our man Johnny, who runs all the fields down here for the Rockies, of which there are 6 and 2 half fields, and then, of course, the main stadium. And Johnny showed that to me earlier. Raz said there's a foot of snow at Coors Field, but you know how pristine it'll look on April 5th.
It'll be as good as any ballpark there is. Well, just the challenges that he has to Raz has to worry about. The snow, the heat, the wind, the dryness.
This is easy for us to say. Raz, just think it's going to green everything up a little quicker.
That's the standard line, right?
Right. Kipnis takes a strike on the outside corner. That may be the most challenging groundskeeper job, and that grounds crew, they do such a fabulous job, but I mean, truly, because of our weather, they face a lot more challenges than I'd probably say every other team in baseball.
I would agree.
Wasn't it a weekend last year? Was it? Didn't we have a weekend when we were wearing T-shirts? It was like 80 degrees, and didn't it snow like or
might have been opening day, opening weekend maybe last year.
I mean, we literally went from like a 65-degree turn in temperature,
and we got snowed out a day later. Two days later.
This is fisted to center field, a base hit. Stubbs is going to get a green light. Dex can throw, and it is not in time. I'd like to see a race. Huh? Eric Young Jr. I mean, this is like a 40-yard dash. Eric Young Jr., Drew Stubbs, Mike Trout. Fit 60 Dex in there because those long strides. I think who I'm leaving out. Well,
Bonifacio from Florida.
Emilio Bonifacio. Billy Hamilton, who's trying to make the Cincinnati Reds. We know he can run. 7-2 the score. That was in tight on Nick Swisher. Kipnis has driven in both runs for Cleveland. Ubaldo Jimenez threw yesterday for the Tribe and threw very well. He worked into the 8th inning, threw 100 pitches, gave up, got painted a little bit. He gave up 3 runs on 4 hits, but 2 of the runs scored after he departed.
It was unusual, though, to get up at 100 pitches this last week and so of spring training.
He's trying to turn things around. He's lost 30 games in the last 2 years. That's the most in baseball. Lost 17 last year. And nobody's been able to figure out how he went from, well, the first half of 2010, not only was he the best pitcher in baseball, he put together one of the 2 or 3 greatest first halves in the history of the game.
Yeah, when you're talking about an ERA and people are trying to compare it to Bob Gibson, that's
before they lowered the mound.
Right, and that's remarkable in its own right.
2-2 on Swisher. And that's roped to left. Pretty compact swing there by the former Buckeye. And now Michael Brantley, who had a base hit his last time up. Good hook for a strike. You know, the Indians released yesterday, Daisuke Matsuzaka. Of course, he played. A big part of the Boston Red Sox for a couple of years when Francona was there. He's battled a lot of arm issues, shoulder issues since having great success in Boston.
Well, they also released Matt Capps today.
They did.
They were talking, they wanted to try to re-sign Matt Capps, keep him in the organization.
Sharply hit to Todd, and the Rockies are going to turn 2. Nicely done. No, Jeff was off the bat. Excuse me.
His foot slipped when he went to stretch. Todd did what he needed to do, give Troy a feed that he can handle. Sharply hit ball on the outside part. Troy makes the throw. Watch Jeff's right foot.
He's searching for the bag.
Yeah, he was. He got it when he went over there to start with, but then it slipped off. Right call at first base. His foot was 3 or 4 inches away from the bag.
Mark Reynolds struck out his first time. I think Cleveland's going to have a better offense, Huey, but they're also going to make some left turns.
They're going to have strikeouts. Reynolds over 200 223 or something, major league record for him. He did 3 years in a row. He had over 200 strikeouts.
Stubbs strikes out a ton.
Stubbs strikes out a lot.
Swisher will strike out. But when they're locked in, they're going to do some damage also.
The old feast or famine, and you ride them while they're hot.
And that tends to be more of an American League approach.
The Earl Weaver approach. 3-run home runs.
Well, you see less running typically in the American League. A little more slugging.
Although Terry might, if he does have Michael Bourne who gets on base and Drew Stubbs, when he's not striking out, when he gets on base, he might play a more aggressive style.
That's a swinging bunt, and you're not going to have a play. Bases loaded for Chisenhall.
Well, you'll draw lines on a baseball field when you go out to practice bunting, and that's a line that you would drop and say this is going to be a base hit 100 out of 100 times if you can get it into that area if you're trying to bunt for a base hit. Well, he wasn't. He's just a swinging bunt, but still the same result.
Lonnie Chisenhall. He had a base hit his first time up. Rockies up 7-2. He's had a good curveball, hasn't he?
And that's what he's had all spring, too. He came down here and had the feel for it immediately.
Chisenhall, a native of North Carolina, and he lines this ball to deep left field. Cargo going back, and he's going to make the catch on the edge of the warning track. A run on 4 hits in the inning for Cleveland. They leave them loaded. 7-2 Colorado, middle of 3. Rockies leading the Indians as Colorado will take their turn in the 3rd inning. Look at old Scottsdale. It's a busy time of year. Spring training, and this is a particularly busy part of spring training because it's spring break. A lot of families down here, a ton of Rockies fans wherever you go.
A lot of high schools are down here playing this weekend from Colorado.
Yep, your son. Chaparral down here.
Ponderosa down here. Golden was down here earlier this weekend.
Brett Meyer's still out there. Jeff Francis walked and scored last inning. He'll lead things off here in the 3rd. Dexter's on deck. That was a good hook. Kipnis on 2 hops. So here comes Fowler. Dex. Fly ball left field and a base hit. Brought a .342 average into the ball game this spring. One of several Rocky newlyweds. In fact, when the Rockies line up with EY, Dexter, Cargo, 1, 2, 3 in the batting order, which they will do and have done this spring and will do during the regular season on occasion, you have 3 newlyweds in a row. How about that?
I forgot who got married first out of that trio. I think it was
I think
Dexter,
Dex was
right?
first. I think Dex. I think it went Dex, Cargo, EY. Or did it go Cargo, Dex, EY?
We'll have to check on that.
Cargo scattering the dugout, taking swings at it.
Back up.
Look out. And Dexter has another base hit. I love watching how he makes a turn at first base. It's like you used to teach in instructs when you rove.
Well, just make the outfielder stop you, and the further the ball is away from first base, the bigger your turn can be. Now, he couldn't make that big a turn if the ball was hit to right field because he might throw back behind him. But to center field and left field, you can go almost halfway to second base. If there's any sort of bobble, you just keep on motoring.
Make the fielder field it into a single.
Well,
think double out of the box.
Think double out of the box, and too many times guys won't do that, and they'll just jog towards first base. The guy bobbles it, and then they try to go, but they don't make it, or they have to stop.
And Rutledge with a sand wedge to right. He didn't stop, and he's going to end up at second base with a soft double. Second and third.
I'm laughing because this is a ball he hit in batting practice too. He hit one almost identical to this. And Tommy Runnels, who was throwing batting practice to him, said, "Why don't you save that for the game?" Well, he did. He does the same thing, drops it on the line, kicks to the right. Easy stand-up double.
Brett Myers having that, oh no, here we go again feeling. Cargo's at the plate. He had a soft single to left that drove in a run an inning ago.
I'm just trying to get my work in.
Yeah.
I didn't need it to be this stressful.
It's a standard line for a pitcher in spring training when he does not have a good outing.
I just getting my work in.
Yeah, got my work in. Well, this is official now. It went Cargo, Dex, EY. That from the Rockies' outstanding traveling secretary, Paul Egan.
Okay.
And Paul would know.
I believe Paul went to all 3 of those weddings, too.
See, Paul was busy then in the offseason.
Thank you, Paul, for...
What do you get 3 guys who have everything? That's a good-looking hook.
You could go to the old line. Candlesticks always make a nice gift.
Where you registered?
Right.
Cargo tried to register at the Ferrari store. And Myers strikes out Gonzalez for the second time tonight. 2 outs. That'll bring up Tulowitzki. In fact, both of Meyer's strikeouts have been cargo. Slider away. We're going to talk to Walt Weiss after the 4th inning. Chisenhall to his left will throw out Tulowitzki. So the Rockies will leave 2 in scoring position. They're enjoying a 5-run lead over Cleveland as we go to the 4th inning. Rockies up 7-2. Drew Goodman, Jeff Houston, Jenny Cavnar. This game is brought to you in part by Taco Bell. Sometimes you gotta live Moss. Lou Morrison, Luis Hernandez, and then the top of the order, Michael Bourne, to face Jeff Francis here in the 4th inning. Jeff has allowed a couple of runs on 7 hits. And a good pitch to Morrison, strike 1. And that'll be a base hit to center field. So Morrison at first base. Well, Eric Young Jr. will be entering the game at some point later on. We were mentioning that he got married in the offseason. So just got a text from Eric Young Sr., who obviously was feeling left out. He said, Drew, I got married 7 years ago. FYI. LOL. We were going to get to that. We were just going in chronological order. Dexter in center field.
It was nice to see EY back in a Rockies uniform.
And by the way, Dex and EY were in each other's weddings. And again, and EY Sr. is going to correct me. I believe EY Sr. was EY Jr.'s best man. They have a
very special relationship. Very, very close.
Well, you can just tell when they're around each other, the way they act, the way they respect each other, and that's fun to see.
And Dante was saying to us around the cage tonight, we're talking about Junior, and said he reminds me of his dad.
Well, the same similarities. Both are game changers at the top of the lineup.
And they both have, and I mean this in the most complimentary of way, they both play with a toughness and an edge to them.
Well, that they do. But it might go back to some of that.
You want to have guys like that.
Maybe it goes back to their football roots.
Yeah.
But you know, who knows? However you want to do it, but you have to play with an edge at the major league level. You know, it's one thing to be a nice guy and do all this, but when it comes down to it, that compete level, those guys have it.
I'll tell you, he was a big fan of EY Junior, and it's a good guy to have as a fan. 22 in the dugout.
A manager. He likes that dynamic of him at the top of the lineup, and that's why he started to reintroduce him some, taking ground balls back at second base.
Hard smash down the right field line. Todd couldn't get to it. Marson to third, and he'll get a stop sign. It'll be a double for Luis Hernandez. This is the hardest that Francis has been hit all spring.
Well, that's 9 hits. 3 1/3 innings off of Francis.
And he had given up only 16 hits in 18 plus coming in.
Well, Todd not far off the bag.
You know, I'm sorry, I said Hernandez. Michael Bourne with that double. Forgive me.
Yeah, Hernandez with the fly out.
Drew Stubbs takes a strike on the outside corner. Stubbs doubled his last time up.
Nice job, Bob.
Stubbs came from Cincinnati in an off-season trade. Tell you what, the Reds are going to be loaded up again.
Milwaukee made a big splash today in that division, signing Kyle Loesch. We were just talking about that yesterday. And then he goes out and gets a 3-year deal.
Good pickup by Nelson, and he'll just get Stubbs, and the throw to third is not going to get Bourne. Bourne crossed over. Marson scores the 3rd run for Cleveland.
Chris Nelson ranges to his left, checks Bourne, gets rid of it and gets back to the bag. Todd with the strong throw, but Michael Bourne outruns it. Bourne stops, and he'd already planted the left foot to get the momentum going back to his right. So once Chris let go of the ball, he was gone.
Kipnis is 1 for 2. He's driven in 2 of the 3 runs tonight. Here's the 1-1, and that's inside. 2-1. Well, now you have Gallardo and Loesch, and if Loesch, you know, who's been throwing, now he's been throwing to high school kids. We were talking about that yesterday. If they deem him ready, there's a decent chance the Rockies will see him next week when they visit Milwaukee. I mean, they're going to see Gallardo on opening day. I don't
think that's going to happen.
That'd be too quick, wouldn't it?
I think so. Why rush it to get him back in a week? I know he's been throwing, but let him stay down here with the extended guys and build up some more arm strength. So when you go into the regular season, there's not the limitations.
He's up to 90 pitches, but he's throwing against Jimmy and Johnny and Billy. And I don't know what kind of resume Jimmy, Johnny, and Billy have. 7-3, I know that much. The Rockies are ahead. Indians 3 on a glorious Scottsdale evening. We go to the bottom of the 4th inning. Michael Kadire, Todd Helton, Wallin Rosario face Brett Myers. Kadire, fly ball to center field and a fly ball to left field this evening. Second season for Michael in a Rockies uniform. Came from Minnesota in a 3-year deal as a free agent. Had a terrific career in Minnesota. They won a lot of games while he was up there. Concert with Mauer and Morneau.
Ron Gardenhire, the manager, taking over from Tom Kelly. He's been there a long time.
Yeah, Gardy has been there a long time. Couple of sweepers. It's 1-2. Everybody we've talked to the last couple of days in terms of position players, they're pretty close to ready to go. This is going to be a tough chance for Myers, and it's going to be an infield hit for Kadire. Well, he plays the game only one way. I mean, he was running like that was Game 7 of the World Series to first base.
And he was legging it out. He had the reach for the bag, the head down, the lean.
Watch him go here. And I mean, you never want to, I understand, you never want to jake it. You also don't want to get hurt in March. But when you're a competitor, and that's just how you play. You can't all of a sudden flip a switch on April 1st.
Nor why should you?
Helton's hit 2 rockets tonight, rocket base hits. Both in the center of the diamond. Todd 2 for 2. Dozen hits off of Brett Myers. Said this many times about Helton, and you can probably say this about all the great hitters, the Tony Gwynns, all the high average guys year in and year out. They seem to identify pitches at just a fraction sooner than everybody else.
Well, and that's why they lay off pitches that everybody else
hit and run
can't.
Also, Helton's a magician because better than anybody I've ever seen, he can hit a ball that's already past his body line.
Well, it seems like he takes it out of the catcher's glove and then hits it.
Like just
like
now.
That ball right there, yes.
And he's 3 for 3. Kadire's going to cut the bag and test the arm of Stubbs, and he is safe at third.
Now, who would have thought in spring training that ball was hit to the right side? It wasn't hit all that hard. You know the right fielder is going to be coming in for it. That Kadire would try to go first to third. But it goes back to the point you made just a moment ago. He plays it one way and one way only. With Todd Helton with his third hit tonight, he'd fouled off some fastballs the other way. Pulls one in the hole. Kadire cuts the bag. Doesn't matter whether you hit it with the right foot or the left foot. Get that shoulder turned. Get the left shoulder and drive it towards the next base.
And he did a very interesting thing there, Jeff. I know you saw it. People may be wondering, why didn't he slide to the top corner of the bag away from where the fielder was? He was trying to hope the ball hit him from behind because he realized the path of the baseball based on where the third baseman was.
Right, and so you'll slide that way in hopes that it hits your back on the hop and scoots away. As Drew was mentioning, you're thinking to the outside part of the bag, but then you see where Chisenhall is lined up, so you go there and then you slide into that. I know you're sliding closer to the tag, but you're more worried about where the ball is, not where that tag's going to come and get you.
Rosario 2 for 2. I know that pitch was way off the plate, but in April and May of last year, he may have chased that.
Yes.
Not so much in August and September.
And what happened when he wasn't chasing? That's when he was hitting the balls out. The average was going up, the home run totals, the RBIs.
A lot of good things.
Yes.
It's hard enough to hit, especially you don't swing at pitches out of the zone.
Well, I just remember a line a coach told me a number of years ago. It's tough to put a good swing on a bad pitch. And to this day, I still use that when I'm teaching kids, because everybody's worried about where their hands are when their foot hits. Am I getting the load? The hands coming through the hips, all the stuff we hear all the time. Try all that when the ball's 3 feet away from you.
Get a good pitch to hit.
Yes.
Three-one count, and Rosario rips it to left. And the Rockies have their 8th run. You got himself in a hitter's count.
Good pitch to hit.
Good result.
Yes.
Willeen with his 10th RBI of the spring. And here we go again. Brett Myers at one point gave up 7 straight base runners, allowed 7 straight base runners in the second, and the first 3 with a hit here in the 4th.
And that was a belt high fastball, 88, 89 miles an hour.
Nelson, a 3-run home run in the second inning. $14 hits with nobody out in the 4th inning for the Rockies.
And the good news, everybody except for Francis has a base hit.
And the Rockies aren't paying him to get hits.
No. Rosario with 3, Helton with 3, Rutledge with 2, Dexter with 2.
I'm kidding about getting your work in. The Rockies hitters, the position players are going to get their work in the first 4 innings and get an earlier shower.
Yeah, and it might change the thought process for Walt. Okay, you want them to go get their 4 or 5 at bats? They might have 4 at bats by the time they reach the 6th inning, and with a lot of base running involved.
No, it's not just ABs, Jeff. They also, right? They want them on. As a manager, you want them with the feeling of playing back-to-back here late in spring training, where you're actually playing the entire game or close to it, where you're playing defense also.
Yeah, and your legs get used to being out there for that long, where you're running and then you go sit down. And then you get back up again and do that for 2.5, 3 hours.
You don't want it to be a shock to the system the first of next week. Tommy Runnels, Walt Weiss. And Nelly hits this in the air to deep center field. That ball just kept carrying. Todd's going to go back to the bag, tag up. And he'll get the 3rd, and now Rosario heads up. We'll get the 2nd.
Smart base running from Moline.
That will please Walt Weiss to no end. In fact, Walt got out of his chair and stood up to applaud. And Dante Bichette also started applauding and pointing at Willeen Rosario. That helps you win ball games. Look at this play.
Bourne's going back. He has to stop himself at the wall. Todd goes back and takes off for 3rd base. But Rosario also, when he sees that ball, he goes and tags up and takes 2 or 3 strides to see where the throw goes, and he's off to the races.
Well, Brett Myers, Huey, has officially gotten his work in. 8-3 Rockies.
It's the final days of
And the Indians 3, 1 out in the 4th inning. And Jeff Francis will be coming up, and he's going to face David Huff. What David Huff's done this spring.
He's had 8 games, 1 start. Second time he was up in this ball game, he was up back in the 2nd inning when the Rockies were batting around with 8 hits and 7 runs off of Brett Myers. And now he's in the ball game for real.
Huff was up last year for 6 starts, actually 6 games, 4 starts. Went 3-1 with a 3.38 ERA. Quality hack there by Francis. We're getting word that Carlos Gonzalez headed to the clubhouse. We'll get word as to why, hopefully here in the not too distant future.
I didn't notice anything on any of the swings.
So Junior will replace Cargo. And that's a base hit for Francis. Helton will score. Rosario to third. A base hit left on an 0-2 pitch from Jeff Francis. Make it 9-3, and now every Rocky has a base hit.
Jeff said, I don't want to be left out. Fights one off from Huff past diving Chisenhall. And an RBI.
Fourth at bat here in the fourth inning for Dexter Fowler. He's 2 for 3. And step in from the right side, first and third. And this ball is blistered to left center field, and everybody can put on their running shoes. Francis long striding it. He'll get a green light from Stu Cole. And the throw is not going to get him. So Jeff doesn't have to run foul poles after the game either.
I know what's going through his mind as he's going around third. He's thinking, really?
Three-hit evening for Dexter Fowler.
High fives and smiles in that dugout. Dexter Fowler laces this ball to left center field. That was on the line. And then the slide from Francis does what you're taught to do. The guy's blocking the plate, you slide right at him.
And Rutledge has himself another base hit. Fowler to third. This is reminiscent. Was it against the Cubs?
Yes.
A couple of years ago. The Rockies had like 47 hits in the game, and 38 of them were extra base hits.
And then that one inning, they had 11 or 10, 11 hits, something like that.
12 in a row.
12 in a row?
12 in a row. Well, I got to add this up. I think we can close the book now on Brett Myers. He gives up 10 runs on 14 hits. Here's Junior batting for Cargo. And this is in the air to right. Dexter's going to tag, and he's going to test Stubbs, and sweep tag missed him. So Junior gets an RBI. And the Rockies have their 12th run.
Well, Drew Stubbs with the strong arm works behind the baseball, one hop to the catcher. But speed is a wonderful thing. Dexter slides out and around, reach back with the left hand, no tag from Marzin.
And the Rockies, for the second time in the game, have hit around. This game's hunting 2 hours, and we're not out of the fourth inning because the Rockies have 12 runs on 17 hits. Now, the Indians last year struggled on the hill. They're struggling tonight, to say the least.
Big time. But you also have to credit the hitters, because whenever there's been a mistake made or they've left the ball over the heart of the plate, they've hit it just like you do during batting practice.
Pretty good heater there, 2-2. Tulowitzki called out on strikes. Rockies hit around, and they add 5 more to their total. 12-3.
It's Monday, a brand new start. Your chance to rise and shine. With CenturyLink as your trusted technology partner, you can do just that. With our visionary cloud infrastructure, global broadband network, and custom communication solutions, your business is more reliable, secure, agile, and with responsive, dedicated support, we help you shine every day of the week. CenturyLink, your link to what's next.
Hey, we should make a Cool Ranch one of these. Hey guys, they should do a Cool Ranch one.
I just said that.
So when is the Cool Ranch version coming out, homie?
Not soon enough.
I agree. You agree?
I agree.
They should make a Cool Ranch one.
I'm tweeting that.
Why they don't make a Cool Ranch one?
Cool Ranch, Cool Ranch.
Cool Ranch.
Cool Ranch.
They should make a Cool Ranch one.
Well, they better hurry up before I'm dead.
We know. We did. Introducing the Cool Ranch Doritos Locos Taco.
A new truck will go the extra mile to take care of the one you've got. And it could go the extra 100,000. Firestone Complete Auto Care. Keep your car running newer, longer. Firestone.
Easter deals are now at K&G. Find special purchases like buy one suit, get 3 free. That's 4 men's suits for just $75 each, or 4 women's suits for only $45 each. While supplies last. Sale ends March 30th.
K&G. On the season premiere of Rockies Weekly, get to know the 2013 Rockies team and their new manager, Walt Weiss, with an exclusive interview. And hear from Todd Helton as he enters what could be his final season. It's Rockies Weekly, Sunday at 9 on Root Sports.
12 runs, 17 hits as we go to the 5th inning. 12-3 Colorado with Jeff Houston and Jenny Kavnar. I'm Drew Goodman. There's Walt Weiss with the headset on. You look good with the headset on, Walter.
I don't believe you.
Well, you know, I lie a little bit every once in a while. Hey, Walt, you know, far be it for me to give you any advice, but if you can play the 12-run, 17-hit card every once in a while, that works pretty well.
That'll work. That'll work. You know, we got a good offensive club. I think you're seeing a little bit of that tonight. It's tough outs up and down the lineup, and it makes it tough on an opposing pitcher when he's got to grind, you know, up and down that lineup. So it's a good sign.
Well, I think that's the big key, Walt, is the length of that lineup. When you're looking at Rosario with all the home runs he hit last year, that he's hitting 7th in the lineup tonight. Of course, Josh Rutledge hitting 2nd, and what he can do also with you know, being able to hit behind the runner, but also to drive the ball in the gap and over the wall.
Yeah, you know, it can be a very dynamic offense, and there's weapons up and down, and there's power throughout. You know, it'd be nice if we could swing it like this every night. That's not going to be the case, but I tell you what, I like our lineup.
Yeah, there are no easy outs in there. Jeff Francis getting a ground ball here. This is kind of typical, isn't it, Walt, Jeff? I mean, he may not be as sharp as we've seen him in other outings this spring, but he's really good at limiting damage, which you have to do if you play at 20th and Blake.
You know, you said it, Goody. I mean, that's what makes Jeffrey so tough. You know, he doesn't have his, for the first time, I think he doesn't have his real good changeup tonight, but like you said, he knows how to execute pitches, knows how to minimize damage. He bends, but he doesn't break. And you know what? He gives us a chance to win pretty much every time he goes out there, and that's all we're looking for.
I want to go back to a couple base running plays that last half inning where Kadire goes first to third. I thought that was impressive. But Willeen Rosario, also when Todd tagged up at second, the way he let off at first and saw where the throw went and then went into second base to get in scoring position.
Yeah, you know, I'm as excited about the base running tonight as I am about the hitting. That's something we've really preached is pushing the tempo on the bases, and the guys are doing that. And we want to be a two-base club. We want to go first to third, and we want to think two out of the box, and the guys have done that well this spring.
You played shortstop and played it exceedingly well for a decade and a half in the big leagues. You have Troy Tulowitzki, who may be the top shortstop talent in the game. You have a kid at second who is pretty good shortstop in Rutledge. How comfortable are they now, picking your brain and finding out the ins and outs of playing that position, playing in the middle of the diamond, Walt?
Every once in a while I sneak over there by those guys during BP, and we talk about some infield play, and I love that stuff, and I tell you what, Rut has made that transition over to second very smoothly. It's not as easy as it looks or it sounds going from short to second. The angles are different. Obviously the pivot is different on double play, but it's gone a lot smoother than even I anticipated. Rutt's done a great job.
That's a pretty good inning from Jeff Francis. Hey, Walt, as always, we appreciate your time, and save some of those for Milwaukee on Monday.
Yeah, I hear you. Thanks, Goody.
All right, you bet. Thanks, Walter. 1-2-3 inning for Jeff Francis. 12-3 Rockies, middle of 5. On Root Sports is brought to you by the Ford Super Duty. Built stronger, built better, built Ford tough. Built Ford tough, Ford Super Duty. Rockies leading 12-3 as we go to the bottom of the 5th inning.
Just so you know, you can't go hit on that field.
Got warning track power there on that one too. Kadire, Helton, and Rosario in the 5th inning. And I think this is good news. I know it's good news. So, Cargo had to leave the game, and you always worry,
right,
as to why. Jenny did a little research. This a long flight to left field. Michael Kadire with his first home run of the spring. 13-3. That was a blast.
Yeah, this one went further than the one Chris Nelson hit earlier in the game. Michael knew it, drops the bat, eyes it for a moment, but does the right thing and just put the head down after that and trot around the bases.
Helton's 3 for 3 tonight, 3 singles. Well, anyhow, the news on Cargo is great. He had to leave the game because he's had allergies. He has allergies, and I guess he was uncomfortable enough that he had to leave. This ball's to deep left field, and this is going to bounce over the wall. It's a ground rule double. That's his second ground rule double to left this spring by Todd.
And that's another encouraging sign. Let alone he has 4 hits tonight, but an opposite field double down the line, just short of the fence, and it bounces over. Because you have to do everything correctly to hit the ball that far that way, and he does without any limitations.
"19 hits. Here's Rosario. Willeen is 3 for 3.
So that is good news about Cargo. Not good news that he has the allergies, but that's all it was.
Yep. Oh my! This ball is in the air to left center field on a line.
That
one fooled me. I have to be honest with you, because I thought that was hit on the end of the bat, and from our vantage point, the trajectory is that was this thing's crushed.
And the swing.
Yeah.
Fans, get your tickets now to see the Rockies take on the New York Yankees May 7th through the 9th. Call 303-ROCKIES or go to ColoradoRockies.com to get your tickets, because tickets are still available.
All right, come clean. Were you fooled? Not as bad as me?
Not quite as bad as you. I was just listening to your call. I was like, wait a second. Are we seeing different things?
Yeah, I'm watching Bourne. I'm saying, dude, you're going the wrong direction. Oh, no, you're not. Oh, well.
Oh, well, it happens.
That's why it's March 25th. Chris Nelson at the plate. I was trying to will it into the gap.
Well, I could understand it if we were in Pittsburgh or Washington, because we're so high there that you can't see the trajectory.
But you couldn't understand that one.
Right.
Yeah, I guess. Thanks. What number bus are you driving?
Because I just ran over you. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Bingo. Three-run home run for Nelly, 1 for 3. Almost hit one out his last time up to center field. David Huff in relief of Brett Myers, who went 3 1/3 and gave up 11 runs on 14 hits. Helton at second with 1 out. And a base hit for Nelly to right. Helton will stop at third. Jeff Francis an opportunity for another base hit.
Yeah, his 4th at bat in 5 innings.
They never ask pitchers, how many at bats do you need to get ready for the season?
No. Jeff says, I'll take all of mine in one night.
Yeah. In fact, Jeff greeted Huff out of the bullpen with an 0-2 line single through the hole on the left side to drive in a run last inning. Well,
So I'm going to break and pitch then.
Yeah, well, it's not like Huff has been fooling the Rockies in relief of Myers. He's given up 6 hits while getting 2 outs. Check it, 3 outs. It's strange enough to see 20 in the hit category. It is really strange when you see 20 hits in the first 5 innings of a game.
Well, twice you've already hit around, too. 13 runs.
Strike 3. Two outs. Dexter Fowler, 3 for 4 tonight. 2-run double his last time up. They're just going over the hit parade. Dexter has 3 hits. Rutledge has 3 hits and was hit by a pitch. Cargo had a hit before departing. Tulowitzki has an infield hit. Kadire has a couple of hits, including a home run. Helton's 4 for 4. Rosario is 3 for 4. Nelson's 2 for 4. Francis has a hit. Also a walk, 2 runs scored. Jeff Houston's 2 for 3.
Well, that's when guys are clamoring to get to the bat rack. They're just waiting. I want to go hit too. I'm thinking back to the hits. Other than Kadire's swinging bunt, and then Josh Rutledge blooped the one down the right field line, and I think Cargo to left field. Not too many of them have been softly hit.
And he gets back-to-back strikeouts. Huff fans Fowler. Rockies got a home run from Kadire leading off the inning. 13-3.
of the sixth. How about a 10-run lead for the Colorado Rockies? I know somebody who's going to like that. His name is Dante Bichette, the new hitting coach for the Rockies this year. When you see 20 hits through 5 innings, you're like, yeah, my work's done here. This is why they brought me in.
Yeah, I need to run in and get an extension after the game real quick before we play again. No, it's been fun. You can see as we're slimming down the roster, you can kind of start to see what our starting lineup's going to look like, and it's going to look pretty good.
Yeah, I'm sure especially tonight when you see how those orders run out. You see a guy like Todd Helton get out there and go 4 for 4 tonight. Everyone else has a hit in the lineup. I know that makes you proud, but does it make all that work worth it?
Oh yeah, Cuddy hit his first home run tonight. He's been hitting like a pro all spring. Got his first home run. You got to get that one out of the way this spring, and he crushed that one. And Todd, with what's he got, 4 hits? It's only the 5th inning. I mean, he swings that magic wand every once in a while, and he's got it going tonight.
Even situational at bats. Eric Young coming in for Cargo there, getting a nice sacrifice fly. I know that's something that you guys are preaching, base running included. We watched Todd Helton tag up and get over to third. When you see it executed, though, do you know that this is going to be something special this year, or potentially be something special?
Yeah. I think they're getting the message of it. Those are absolutes. That's what we want to be known for as a team, is that situational hitting and that aggressive base running. And the guys seem to be doing it well. You can see them really taking that personal, and it played tonight big.
I know you haven't left the game of baseball since you've been out of a Rockies uniform, since you're out in a Major League uniform. But what's it been like to be back around the club day to day and know that all the work you're putting together in these last 6 weeks are going to lead towards a complete season?
It's been like just riding a bike, with the Rockies, because I felt like I've always been a part of the Rockies, and it's just right back in the saddle again. The kids are great out here. Our players are great. The organization has always been top-notch and treated me well. So it's just been a great experience to get back at it.
And I got to ask you quick, because I got to spend a little time today with you and EY talking about stealing. To be with your old teammates, you got EY, you got Walt, you got Vinny around. I mean, what's that been like to get the band back together, so to speak?
The best. I mean, to hear Vinny's laugh and EY's laugh and his smile and how passionate they are about this game, and just to reminisce about some of the good times we had with Walt. It's been a lot of fun. Pedro Stasio made an appearance this spring, and I'm glad the Rockies are getting those guys back in here. There's a lot of knowledge and wisdom there, and it was a lot of fun for me.
Cool. Well, we're glad to see you back in purple. Dante, thanks so much for your time, guys.
All right, Jenny, thanks much. He has already developed, Huey, as you know, a really strong relationship with a lot of these guys. I mean, there's instantaneous respect because of what he accomplished, but it's more than that. It's his personality, it's his approachability.
I think that's the big thing, the approachability, because when you come in as a hitting coach, a lot of the guys automatically think, well, how's he going to try to change me? And he didn't do that. He got to know the guys and what made them tick and what did they like and what did they want to work on. And it wasn't a lot of mechanics. It was more of the mental side of hitting. And I think that's where hitting coaches really make their money, is getting that guy in the right frame of mind when he steps in the box, because the mechanics of a swing, guys have those down for the most part. But being in the right frame of mind when he steps in the box to give him the best chances to succeed.
Well put. Good inning for Wilton Lopez. 13-3 Colorado.
Here's a present from
13-3, the Rockies leading the Cleveland Indians. 20 hits for the Rockies. They come up at the bottom of the 6th inning. Josh Rutledge, Eric Young Jr., and Troy Tulowitzki. Rockies fans, Root Sports brings you one last spring training game this week. Tune in Saturday when the Rockies take on the Mariners live at 1 in the afternoon Mountain Time from Salt Lake City. And watch the club as they prepare for the 2013 season right here on Root Sports. It'll be a quick stop in Salt Lake City and then on to Milwaukee. Rockies will open Monday afternoon against the Brew Crew. It'll be Jolie Chassin against Giovanni Gallardo. Rutledge tonight has been on base all 4 times. Hit by a pitch, kind of grazed by a pitch his first time up, then a double, and a single.
New pitcher for the Cleveland Indians, Rich Hill.
Rich Hill.
Well, he's a 4th-round pick for the Cubs way back in the early 2000s, and he was supposed to be a front end of the rotation type of guy. And then he moved over to Boston, and now he's working out of the pen, trying to drop down more 3/4, sling it, be a left-handed specialist.
He was in the Cubs organization when you were in the Cubs organization.
Yeah, I've seen this guy. Saw him for a number of years there, work his way up through the minor league system.
He's got good spring numbers. 8 appearances, has not given up a run. 3-to-1 strikeout to walk ratio. High compliment from Walt Weiss on Josh Rutledge's transition from the left side to the right side.
And then he's talking about his ability to turn double plays, because that is a whole new experience for a guy that's had the play in front of him his whole life. As a shortstop, you know where the runner is, but that uneasy feeling when you have your back turned and you're waiting for the ball and you can feel that runner getting close, and how close is he? Can I make the play?
That bag can really be your best friend, can't it?
You use it as to really protect yourself. And that's where you hope that if a guy makes a mistake, if he makes a bad throw, make it on the backside of the bag. Don't lead me into that runner where I can get hurt.
How about 4 hits for Rutledge?
For the best ticket values, purchase 2013 Rockies season tickets or 15 to 25 game mini plans. Call 303 Rockies or go to coloradorockies.com/20th.
Eric Young Jr. second at bat. Cargo left after 3 at bats. His allergies were bothering him. Sac fly for EY his first time up. And he takes a ball there. That's low. 2-0. And ball 3. Third pitcher utilized tonight by Cleveland. Tough night for Brett Myers. 3-2. David Huff got hit around as well. Huff gave up 3 runs in an inning and 2/3.
6 hits given up by Huff.
EY hits it hard down the first base line, foul. Indians, like the Rockies, suffered through a painful 2012. They went 68-94. They have some guys right now on the men, including Chris Perez, their closer. He worked in a minor league game the other day. They think he's going to be ready for opening day.
Well, that's the good news with those closers, that if they can work in minor league games, because you don't have to worry about stretching them out to 40 pitches. It's 20 to 25 to get through the inning.
And a good at bat for Junior. He draws a walk. 2 on, nobody out, and that'll bring up Tula. Looking at the Indians' schedule, Huey. They like their club, but it's going to be a tough start. They're in the American League East to begin. 3 on the road at Toronto, who loaded up in the offseason, and then 3 in Tampa. And then they'll open at home in Cleveland against the Yankees. They'll have a 4-game set against the Yankees, and then the White Sox come to town, followed by Boston.
That's not an easy start, but if you're going to get the Yankees early, I think that's the best time. You know, Jeter might not be playing at that point. They're also going to be missing Teixeira, Curtis Granderson. But you're right, they could come home easily 0-6.
The Rockies don't have an easy schedule either. Opening on the road in Milwaukee. They're home for 3 ball games against San Diego. The home opener is Friday the 5th. And then it's out to San Francisco and San Diego. So 9 of their first 12 are out on the road. And then they'll have a 9-game homestand 3rd week of April. And then it's off to Arizona and Los Angeles. And that's when right after that the American League comes to town with Tampa and the Yankees.
And a lot of games within the division.
Three and 1 now on Tulowitzki. 2 on, nobody out. 7 in the 2nd, 5 in the 4th, and a run in the 5th on the Kadire home run for Colorado. 13-3 they lead. They have 21 hits. And now the bases are loaded for Michael Kadire.
Well, Rich Hill's in a different situation than Brett Myers. Myers has made the club. Rich Hill's a non-roster guy. And you don't want to be giving up a base hit and 2 walks to load the bases this late in camp when they're still making roster decisions.
Well, his 0 ERA is in significant jeopardy right now. Bases loaded, nobody out. Single and a home run and 4 at bats for Kadire. That's a strike.
Well, this is back in the 5th inning. And no doubt about that swing and that result.
Charlie Blackmon's on deck. Now, Charlie was in the game defensively last inning. He was playing right field. Kadire moved to first base. Todd Helton's evening's done. He wore out. He's 4 for 4.
And had to run the bases a lot.
Trying to get the curveball on the back porch. Could not. 2-2. Leadoff single by Rutledge. He's at 3rd. Junior walked. Tulowitzki walked. And it's run full on Kadire.
Rich Hill keeps trying to paint the outside corner with the sweeping breaking pitch, but hasn't come close.
Bouncing ball to first, and the only play for Reynolds was to block it with his body and go to the bag. So another RBI for Kadire, his second of the ball game. And the Rockies lead it 14-3. Rutledge scoring on the fielder's choice. First AB now for Charlie Blackmon.
This is going to be a tough at-bat for Charlie. The way Rich Hill strides towards first and comes swinging way out around. It's so difficult to pick up the baseball against guys like this. You're just not used to seeing it from that low three-quarter angle.
He's missing the zone consistently. It's 2-0 again. This ball's hammered to center field. Bourne can't catch up. One hop off the wall. That'll score two. Blackmon hunting a triple. He'll get there easily. Two-run triple. Charlie Blackmon left on left against Rich Hill.
And good for Charlie Blackmon.
Boy, when he's healthy, he's been impressive.
Yeah, he's been out for some time at the beginning of camp, but comes back, as you mentioned, left on left. Rich Hill dropping down, but he stays through it, keeps the right shoulder tucked in over the head of Michael Bourne for a triple.
Well, Rich Hill's perfect ERA is gone, and he'll walk off. 16-3. Two hits. Rockies still hitting with one out in the sixth inning. And Joe Smith is now on the hill. And Malin Rosario takes a healthy hack at the first delivery. Smith last year with Cleveland 7-4, 2.96 ERA. Did a good job in 72 appearances out of the bullpen.
Just a 213 batting average against.
That's a strike.
Well, this is the left-on-left matchup with Rich Hill and
this is the
Charlie Blackman. Version. This is the right-handed version with Smith because he'll bend that big sweeping breaking pitch.
That's all right. He tried to come inside with a fastball, and it's lined into the left field corner by Rosario. Blackman scores, and the Rockies are up to 17 runs now. And Willeen has himself a 4-hit ball game. So Helton had 4 hits before departing. Willeen's got 4. Rutledge has 4.
Well, this is trying to sneak a fastball by Rosario, and that's not too wise because he can hit the fastball with the best of them.
Nelly takes ball 1. He's got a couple of hits tonight, including a 3-run home run. Nolan Arenado is in the on-deck circle. That's a base hit. Rosario stopped at third. Stu Cole says, all right, go station to station for a moment. The ball was ripped up the middle. 24 hits for the Rockies.
And the 3rd hit for Chris Nelson tonight. And Chris hit the home run to left, single to right, and now a single back up the middle.
Could be some sore hands from high fives in the dugout.
It's just nice that they have 24 hours to recover after that because tomorrow night's a night game.
Yeah. Arenado hits it hard, and it's bobbled by Hernandez. It'll still turn into a 6-4-3 inning-ending double play. Rockies get 4 more in the 6th. Charlie Blackman, a big triple, 17-3. Just look back. This may take a while. 2nd inning, 3-run home run, Chris Nelson. Then Josh Rutledge with a long drive off the wall to drive in Jeff Francis. Troy Tulowitzki, an infield hit to drive in a run. Rosario has 4 hits tonight. There's one of them. Rockies got 7 that inning. And they would do some more damage in the fourth to the tune of 5 runs. Jeff Francis with an 0-2 base hit. Dexter Fowler's had a huge night. He unloaded a double. Jeff Francis came all the way around from first. That's our Cooney Lexus partial look back, brought to you by Cooney Lexus, where luxury has an address, and it's coming to Greenwood Village this spring. They have an enormous new facility opening up in Greenwood Village. Michael Bourne's at the plate. Saw Matt Belisle working yesterday. Had a little bit of a rough outing over in the Maryvale section of Phoenix. And relievers will work back-to-back the final 10 days of spring training. Your late inning guys, so they are accustomed to that. That's why you're seeing Matt tonight again. Reed Brignac's in the ball game at shortstop. Nolan Arenado is at third base. Rutledge still at second. Kadire at first. There's Nolan.
As you mentioned, Drew, Matt was in yesterday's game. 10th appearance. That leads the staff early in spring. Or late in spring, excuse me. But Matt, back-to-back days, might take tomorrow off and then be back out there for a couple more days in the tune-up for April 1st in Milwaukee.
One-two lifted to left field. Ewise got it, and let's go downstairs to the dugout and see what Jenny Kavnar's up to. Oh, Nellie's there.
And Nellie's here. I was going to introduce him as the man formerly known as number 10, now number 4. We got to clear that up. Did Dante just straight up steal your number or his old number out of your hands, or did you let him have it?
No, you know, the organization wanted him to have number 10, so you know, that's his number when he was here. So
what did you tell me though? There's probably more number 10 ones.
It's probably more Dante jerseys as number 10 than Chris Nelson.
That's all right though, Nelly. You're making a name out there, right? Tonight, first home run of the spring. Does that always feel good to just get that one out there, a little 3-run shot?
Yeah, I mean, I've been swinging the bat pretty good the last couple of days, and it just feels like you know, everything's starting to click again.
Yeah, pretty good. 3 hits for you tonight. In fact, your team 24 hits right now for 17 runs. When things started going there in the second, did it feel like one of those nights the domino effect's gonna help everyone get some hits tonight?
Oh yeah, I mean, this is what we want to have in the season right here. You know, pitchers keep us in the game. We just put up runs.
Yeah, Dante said he might go sign a contract extension after a night like tonight. What's it been like to have a guy like Dante Bichette, such a perennial hitter, come into this organization and make you guys better every day?
It's just been great. I mean, it's great. It's just somebody you could talk to who's been through the ranks. You know, a lot of at-bats, a lot of home runs. So it's just nice to sit down with somebody who could talk to you about the game.
Walk us through your spring a little bit. Where were you at coming into this spring, and have you kind of accomplished all the little goals you set out for yourself as we approach opening day coming up here soon?
Yeah, really focus on my defense. Just trying to be more consistent out there on the defensive end and just get my swing together.
This offseason, you also tried to catch up with some teammates that got married. I heard you got engaged, so we might add you to that ring of guys that are putting the ring on.
Yes. December 14th. Brittany. Yeah, December 14th. I'm excited about it, very excited.
You can mark your calendars at home, but I bet you ain't getting an invitation, Drew, so don't count on it. Guys, we'll send it back up to you. Thanks so much for your time, Nelly.
No problem.
Well, congratulations. Every year, get more guys married off, huh?
Wow, you're not getting an invitation.
Well,
still early.
You know it. We'll still get him something nice.
Okay.
Won't we, Huey?
Yes. We'll go in together to get him something.
We'll get him both candles. 2 outs, nobody on. Jason Kipnis at the plate. He's driven in a couple tonight. 1 for 3. Good first half, struggled in the second half. 27 RBIs in the second half, but that was consistent with what the club did. They were 18-45 their final 63 games last year with Cleveland. And that's a good, strong bounce back inning for Matt Belisle. 1, 2, 3, couple of punch outs. Rockies in complete control.
Brother and sister, well, if you ever have one, don't be fighting with them. Understand that? Take your little rear end, sit down, watch, just clean the clock of the Indians. All right, see you later.
Renee Latchman handing out fatherly advice in his free time.
It was spot on. Clean the clock of the Indians. It's 17-3.
Renee can't go more than 3 or 4 minutes without making some sort of declaration. He is absolutely hysterical behind the batting cage during batting practice.
And he's also, but one of those guys that can get on you in a joking way, but mean it, and it has some substance behind it.
He is a character.
He is.
Dexter Fowler 3 for 5 tonight. Facing Joe Smith. Rich Hill tagged for 4 runs last inning in a third of an inning. DJ LeMahieu's on deck for Josh Rutledge. Dexter 2 hits lefty, 1 hit righty. That was a double.
A line drive double.
Dexter had a rough spring last year. Kind of carried into the start of the season.
First couple weeks of the season.
Yeah, this spring he's hitting above 350.
Follow the Rockies on your phone with MLB.com at Bat 2013, featuring spring training highlights and more. Text a bet to 31826. And it's a wonderful app for your phone.
Inside. And LeMahieu takes that inside.
Well, it's good to see DJ still using that leg kick that he incorporated when he came back from Colorado Springs last year to generate more power, sticking with it this spring.
That's a pretty good pickup by Chisenhall. 2 outs. And Eric Young Jr. will come up. Does not have an official at bat. A sac fly and a walk. So he's got a ribby and a run scored tonight. Two balls and a strike on Junior. Reed Brignac's on deck. You talk about decisions the Rockies have to make. Figure out exactly who they'll break with in their bullpen. With Garland being signed, he becomes the number 5 starter, and they made that abundantly clear today when Drew Pomerantz was sent to minor league camp. And who's the extra infielder? And it looks like LeMahieu would have the inside track. Pacheco's going to make the club. 17-3 Colorado. (17-3) Colorado. 17 runs, 24 hits. And the new catcher for the Rockies is Jordan Pacheco. The new pitcher is Rex Brothers. Wilton Lopez, a 1-2-3 inning. And Matt Belisle, a 1-2-3 inning. And there's Rex. 11 punch-outs, just 2 walks. Been a good spring.
Well, and the key number is the 2 walks in 7 innings, because that's where Rex has gotten in trouble early in his career. Is the walks have crept up. When he works ahead and uses the fastball and the hard slider, pretty tough to hit.
He's facing a good hitter in Nick Swisher to begin. Michael Brantley on deck. Mark Reynolds scheduled after that. Mayhew on defense at second. The only starter who's still in his original spot is Dexter Fowler in center. Kadire started in right. He's at first. Bounce the slider.
Well, for guys like Swisher, they'll play. They might stick it all out for all 9, but they've got a day game tomorrow. So doubt that he would turn around and play in the day game at home tomorrow against Oakland. And they finish up at home in Goodyear against the Cincinnati Reds on Saturday before they break camp.
And that's inside ball 4.
As soon as I say he might play all 9 innings, he comes out for the pinch runner.
Delvey Sid's a pinch runner. There's a base hit for Brantley. Now Brantley's going to come out. This is Carlos Moncrief.
That's a pitch that Rex has utilized more when he's behind in the count. Something off speed, not everything being that hard fastball. Learning from Matt Belisle and Rafael Betancourt's down there.
That's a fair ball down the line. Delvey Sid scores. Moncrief will stop at third. Run scoring double from Mark Reynolds. Well, Rich Hill had a 0 ERA coming in. Rockies touched him for 4 runs. Rex Brothers' perfect ERA is gone.
Reynolds pulls it inside the bag at third base. Kicks off the wall, cut it off, and just get it back in.
Chisenhall at the plate. Suffered a broken wrist last year, which cost him a couple of months.
Well, that's why he wears the big protection on his right wrist.
Adam Abraham's the pinch runner for Reynolds. (17-4) after that RBI by Reynolds. And don't be alarmed if you see him work at 91, 92 right now, because it's amazing. You can pick up about 4 miles an hour on the flight north.
But adrenaline. You can be in these situations, but it's not the same as what it is during the course of the season.
Pacheco almost threw that into right field. Good ups by Kadire.
But also good block from Jordan Pacheco with the breaking pitch working away from Lonnie Chisenhall. A lot of extra work. Slide over, use that chest protector, drop down. Well, the throw was high, but he got rid of it in plenty of time for Kadire to go up and come back and get the out.
Catcher Lou Marson. Or is this? You know what? That's not Marson. That's Logan Vick. Vick pinch hitting. Fly ball toward EY and left. Trying to set his feet to throw. He did a nice job.
He's really improved his outfield play with a lot of hard work.
You know, we talk about infielders that may be short in terms of arm strength. Get rid of the baseball, you can make up for something. It's the same thing for EY. You know, he doesn't have a big arm, but if you get rid of the baseball a little quicker, and he got it out of his glove.
Well, he made he made the transfer like he was an infielder. Come up quickly, get rid of it, and now make the decision have to be made quicker for the base runner or the third base coach.
Luis Hernandez, switch hitter, in from the right side. Luis is 1 for 3. Actually 0 for 3. Let me correct that. Well, that's the end of the night for Jeff Houston. He's eating dessert. Did you get those from Coors Field? We've had those up at Coors Field.
Yes.
The dessert kebab.
Oh.
There's a strikeout of Hernandez. In the inning, on a couple of hits for Cleveland. 17-4 Colorado. show tonight. They're up 17-4, 24 hits as we go to the bottom of the 8th inning. Wow, that was quite a dessert from Gloria Berry Kebabs, which is behind home plate. We've had them before at Coors Field, and they've taken care of a lot of folks throughout spring training. We thank them for the berry kebabs.
Just what we needed.
You need to go behind home plate at Coors Field throughout the season because they got, I mean, they're to die for. Strawberries, bananas, draped in chocolate on a kebab. Doesn't get better than that.
It doesn't.
Matt Albers is on, and he breaks the batter. Reed Brignac going out.
I think he got hurt too. I don't know if it was a calf or a hamstring.
On one pitch.
On one pitch.
Yeah, you know what? This isn't the regular season, so whatever you say that doesn't feel right, you're coming out.
Yes. Give me the baseball. He's going to try to throw. But he hopped off there immediately like something was wrong. Oh, he twisted his right ankle. That's what it was.
And you want to know what? That's good news. Because he twisted it a little bit, and it looks like he's going to be okay. If he pulled that calf muscle,
yes,
you put him on the DL right now.
Right now. But what Terry Francona's concern is with the right ankle, it's his push-off ankle.
Albers was very effective last year. The league hit below 220 against him. In fact, lefties hit 207 against him. Righties 220.
But you remember how it was playing basketball where you roll your ankle for a second and it really stung, and then a couple minutes later it came back. Okay, it's not so bad.
Yeah, the old walk it off deal. Kadire hit a long home run to left center field back in the 5th inning. Rockies lost 7-5 yesterday. We mentioned that the hitting star for the Rockies was Juan Nicasio yesterday.
Couple hits,
including an RBI. And he threw the ball well, most importantly.
He got through 5 innings.
Indians in an interesting division with the Tigers, the White Sox. The Royals look to be improved.
Yeah, I like the Royals are kind of the dark horse of that division.
They upgraded pitching
what they did, going out and getting James Shields,
Wade Davis as well. One out walk to Kadire. Charlie Blackmon, who tripled in a couple of runs in his first plate appearance, will step up. Ran into Glenn Allen Hill the other day, and we were chatting about the AAA team that he'll manage, and he said we're going to have a lot of talented guys on that club. In fact, chatting with Rob Scahill today about that. Rob got demoted. You never want to get demoted. And AAA is the toughest place, Huey, as you would know better than anybody, to manage, because nobody wants to be there.
There's only about 2 guys out of the 24, 25, whatever's on that roster that want to be there. Because you've got this group over here that's mad because they just got sent down. They think they should be in the big leagues. You got another group that have just kind of moved up from AA, and so it's an interesting dynamic to try to manage down at AAA. And the other part of it,
then you got your lifers, too.
Yeah, you got guys that have been down there forever and might have had a cup of coffee. But the interesting thing for Glen Allen Hill is he probably won't have his team together, ready to go, until he plays that first game. Because the guys are going to will travel with the club up to Salt Lake. And then who knows if they come back here before they break camp, where they go. So he's going to, it's like, hi, how you doing? Okay, you're hitting fourth today.
And if you follow baseball really closely, sometime in late July or mid-August, take a look at all the transactions that have taken place with the AAA clubs, not just the Rockies. I mean, it's true in every organization. Look at how many guys have an at-bat or have thrown an inning for the Sky Sox late in the year. This is going to drop in left field. Another base hit for Charlie Blackmon.
What did the Rockies use last year? Was it 50 guys, 51 guys, something like that over the course of the season?
Yeah.
And then you think about, okay, all those guys coming up from AAA, but somebody had to fill in for them there. So you're right. There's just a lot of transactions.
Willeen Rosario is 4 for 4, actually 4 for 5. And this is Jordan Pacheco's first at bat. Came in to catch last inning. Jordan has the biggest travel bag on the team. And he's got to have a third baseman's glove, a first baseman's glove, a couple catcher's gloves, his equipment.
And I was watching him go through his workout today because he started at second base, took ground balls there, was turning double plays, doing everything. And then he went over to third base for 15, 20 minutes, and Stu Coles was just hitting him ground ball after ground ball over there. And by the time he came in to hit, his sweat was just pouring off his brow, and he had just gone through a strenuous workout defensively. And now tonight he's catching.
And I guess he's not tired enough that he can't throw out another knock. Bases loaded for James Skelton. First at bat for James from the minor league side. You can tell because he's got his it's like his minor league jersey going a little more worn out than the other jerseys. Wow, he put a charge in this one to deep right field. Kadire will come down. A sac fly for Skelton. 18
I like that.
to 4.
You're going to get one at bat? Let's just swing for the downs.
That's pretty impressive.
Oh, yeah, it was. I'm not going to wait around, see a pitch. I see a fastball, I'm swinging.
Second AB for Arenado. Sliced into the crowd out of play. James Skelton. I'm trying to look him up. Originally a 14th round pick of the Tigers back in 04. Last year he was in AAA Syracuse. He drives in a run. Rockies up by a cool 14 going to the ninth.
It's the final day.
Tonight's delivery of the game is brought to you by Jimmy John's, America's favorite sandwich delivery guys. Well, the Rockies offense, 18 runs on 26 hits. 26 hits. Reviewing, 3 guys have 4-hit ball games. Rutledge, Helton, or is it 2 guys? Helton and
Rosario.
Oh, yeah, Rosario. I knew there were 3.
Yes.
Yeah, Rutledge, Helton, Rosario. Josh Outman on. This is, Huey, you asked during the break, this is not a safe situation.
Well, not in an 18-4 ball game in the 9th inning. But another chance for Josh Outman, who was reassigned to the minor leagues a couple days ago, to still get some work in front of the big league staff.
Reed Brignac makes a play, 1 out. This is Anthony Gallus up from the minor leagues for the evening.
Not only do you get to play in a big league spring training game, you also get big league meal money for a day.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
I was talking to a friend of mine whose son is in the Toronto organization, and he's still a very young player. He played in the Midwest League last year in A-ball, and he got an opportunity to play in a big league game for Toronto against the Yankees.
Oh, wow.
Run around on the same field with Derek Jeter and all the other pinstripers. Yeah, I mean, you kidding me? 2 gone.
Well, then you go back to the minor league camp and the guys are asking, what's it like? How was it?
This is Tony Walters. We'll have a story for his fellow minor leaguers tomorrow. We have not heard yet, but I would assume that the 26 hits, I don't know, you can't assume anything, but the 26 hits got to be close to a club record.
I think so.
Nice play by Outman, and he's going to get the out at first. Good play by Michael Kadire, nobody hurt. And that's the ball game. Figuratively, it was over a while ago. Literally, it is now in the books. 18 runs, 26 hits tonight for the Rockies. Save some for the regular season. 18-4 the final as the Rockies have defeated the Cleveland Indians. Everybody had their hitting shoes on tonight. Jeff Francis made his way through 5 innings, gave up 3 runs. Wilton Lopez, a good inning. Belisle, a good inning. Brothers gave up a run and then a couple of punch-outs. And Josh Outman, a 1-2-3 ninth. You know, I know it's March. It is late March. This was the opening day lineup, and it was quite an audition.
Well, it was, because even though it's late March, you still want to build on what you're going towards on April 1st. And I thought the hitting today was really good. Obviously, with all the guys with 3 and 4 hits, Chris Nelson, I thought, had a very big night for him. He needed a night like this where kind of just be able to breathe a little bit.
Yeah, he did that. Todd Helton looked like the Todd Helton we've been watching for almost 2 decades. Quite a dress rehearsal. The Rockies, 18 runs on 26 hits. They cruise over the Indians tonight, 18-4. I hope you enjoyed it. Our next spring training broadcast will be from Salt Lake City Saturday night, 1 p.m. in the Mountain Time Zone when the Rockies take on the Mariners. For Jeff Hughes and Jenny Cavnar and our entire crew, Drew Goodman saying,